I didn't know fear until that night. Not real fear, the kind that sticks to your bones and makes your blood crawl. I still can feel it sometimes, and I can still hear him. It started like any other night. I was exhausted, lying in bed, the ceiling fan humming softly. My room was quiet, too quiet. No cars outside, no crickets, no hum of electricity. Just silence. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. Something in the air made my skin itch, and I smelled it. Burnt flesh, rust, something sour like rotting meat. I froze, trying to convince myself it was a dream, but the smell didn't fade. It grew stronger. The shadows in the room seemed thicker, darker than usual, pooling in the corners. And then I saw him. At first, it was just a shape. A tall, thin figure standing in the corner, perfectly still. The kind of stillness that doesn't belong to a human. Then I saw the hat, the sweater, and the face. It was Freddy Krueger. My heart jumped into my throat. I wanted to scream, but the sound was caught somewhere inside me. My body refused to move. It wasn't paralysis more, like my bones had turned to stone. He tilted his head, letting the shadows of his hat hide his burned, blistered skin, but the grin was unmistakable. Wide, cruel, and impossible. Finally, "Awake," he said. His voice was wet, like something had been rotting in a basement for years. I wanted to look away, but my eyes were glued to him. Then I saw the glove. 4 knives, sharp, catching the dim moonlight coming through my window. He ran them slowly along the edge of my dresser. Scrurch, scrurch. The sound dug into my skull. I tried to scream again, but nothing. Tried to move? My legs wouldn't respond. My arms, nothing. I was trapped, completely exposed. He started to walk toward me, each step dragging in slow motion, like time had broken. I could see the texture of his skin peeling, burned, wet with something dark and sticky. He leaned closer. The smell grew worse, a choking, acrid cloud that burned my lungs. "You know, I don't like being ignored," he whispered. "Most kids, they scream, cry, beg. But you?" He crouched down, close enough I could see the black pits where his eyes should have been. "You? Watch." Then he lunged. Not at me, not physically, but through me. My mind filled with visions, flames, screaming, people I loved, burning, clawing at me for help I couldn't give. The floor of my room melted into charred wood. The walls dripped blood. I was floating, falling, and suffocating all at once. I tried to close my eyes, but every time I did, his face was there, inches away, smiling wider. Time didn't exist. Minutes, hours, I can't tell. When I finally woke up, I was on the floor, drenched in sweat, shaking so badly I couldn't stand. My room was quiet. The fan hummed, but the smell lingered. Still lingers, sometimes, when I wake at 3 a.m. The scratches were there, too. 4 deep, jagged lines across my dresser, cutting through the wood like claws had dragged across it. My parents said it must have been me in my sleep. I know better. I know he doesn't just exist in dreams. Sometimes, when I'm tired, I see movement in the corners of my eyes. Shadows that don't belong. Sometimes, I smell the metal and ash. Sometimes, I hear it. Scritch, scritch. And I know he's waiting. Waiting for the night I fall asleep fully. Waiting to finish what he started. Because Freddy Krueger doesn't need a dream to hurt you. He only needs you to believe. And I still do.